contested elections in our area on September 16th from 6 to 8. So we're hoping that anybody listening and everybody in the room can come and see democracy at work as we entertain those candidates for the evening. But what I wanted to talk about is we've just begun another school year, and I wanted to take a moment to share just what a truly positive start it has been. However, before I highlight some of the exciting things happening across our district, I would be remiss if I did not mention our continued concern regarding the ongoing attacks on public education. Thanks to the governor's vetoes, we will feel some protection from the harshest funding cuts that were passed, but the reality is we still face impact, and so will our students. Make no mistake though, attacks on public education are not behind us. This is only the beginning of a continuing fight to ensure that our schools have the resources our students deserve, and to win, it will take all of us. Now to the good news of the day. Every building is full of energy and purpose, and families packed our open houses. We had one in every building this week, I think. And the middle school people aren't back from theirs. And the excitement was clear and evident. And so we were very happy to see our families. And I could share details about this for weeks, but Rick will cut me off. So of all the wonderful things happening, two in particular have already transformed the daily experience for our students and staff. And that's where I want to focus tonight. First, the opening of South Fork Elementary. While we all hold fond memories of Pataskal Elementary, the reality was that that building posed many challenges. At South Fork, our students and staff have been given a fresh start. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what teachers have shared. Everyone is really settling into our new building nicely. The staff are loving the new rooms, the working air conditioning, the fantastic lounge, and each wing having its own copier. It really seems that we were getting the flow of procedures to keep things running smoothly. The kids are obsessed with the new playground. Oh, yeah. The lunch line is much smoother with 2 lines. It makes everything more efficient. We've also gotten really positive feedback from parents about the building. In short, the building has already transformed the daily experience for students and staff alike. Second, the transformation happening at the high school. As you know, a new state law beginning January 1st bans student use of all personal electronics, cell phones, smartwatches, listening devices like AirPods, from the moment students enter the school building until the moment they exit. So far, our district has preemptively restricted electronic use within classroom walls, and the research helps us see why this matters. In high schools that eliminate student phone access, researchers have found higher test scores, calmer classrooms, less stress for students. Additional studies point to fewer discipline issues, better grades, less bullying, and more work completed without screen distractions. Just as important, students report lower anxiety, improved focus, and greater overall well-being when phones and listening devices are not present. One study published in 2020 in the Journal of Education Policy analyzed United States high schools with strict cell phone bans and found a significant rise in standardized test scores alongside reductions in distractions and anxiety. We know our students are growing up in a world where electronic addiction is real and physical. It wires their brain to crave constant connection and distraction. Every minute that we limit that compulsion, we are giving them the gift of focus, conversation, and genuine human connection. But I don't just want you to hear this from me and researchers out there. Here's what our teachers are saying after only 1 week of this policy. Love no cell phones. Kids are actually looking at each other and having conversations. I've been against this kind of policy in the past, but I'm seeing it work. Students are reading along in books, paying attention, and communicating more. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes, how much this has changed my classes. I've been floored by the difference in behavior. Kids complained at first, sure, but then they complied. They're talking, reading, and engaging in a way I haven't seen in years. The only kink is the walking in and out of the classrooms. Once the phones are in their hands, it's almost automatic that they read them. I'm so glad to have social teenagers back who are not counting the minutes until I stop class so that they can pull out their phones. My classes are fun again. This is a total game changer, and I hope we never go back. The odd thing is, I scanned the room during lunch duty today, And I realized that students were on their phones much less than they were last year. I expected the room to be silent with them all staring at screens, but that's not what's happening. They were talking to each other instead. That's powerful testimony. And the most important part, the students themselves. Instead of counting down the minutes to grab their phones or half listening with earbuds tucked away, they're looking at each other in their eyes. They're talking, they're laughing. They are rediscovering what it means to be teenagers. Every single day we are witnessing a transformation unfold. Our students are proving through their actions that this is possible. They deserve high praise for how well they've embraced the changes so far. We've not had to take a single cell phone in the entire school. So in conclusion, as we begin this school year, we do so with both resolve and hope. Resolve to keep fighting for the funding and respect that public education requires, and hope because we see what happens when we give our students the right environment to learn, connect, and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the update. Okay, Dr. Perkins.
Waiting for Jeff to roll me up here. Okay, so I'm going around to all the schools since we did a non-traditional convocation this year and didn't have the normal where I talked to everybody. I'm just going out to the different schools and presenting to the staff. So some of those in the room tonight have seen this and others have not. But I wanted to make sure the board and anybody watching at home or here tonight joining us gets to see all the things that are going on in the district. So, I have my own clicker. I was going to tell Jeff to go ahead and click. Okay, so we have 59 new employees this year. I would like to add that the bulk of them is through attrition or growth. We do have, and I broke it down, 2 new admins, 31 certified new staff, and 26 classified. 8 Watkins grads and 18 that live in the district. So another new, pretty large inductee class, but a lot of excited people, and they had their new orientation, and obviously now they've been off and running, so we're really excited to have this group. I always like to take a few moments to highlight some of the truly amazing things that are going on in this district academically. And the report card, as we always talk about, is one moment in time. It does tell a story, and there are always things on there that we can improve upon, but there are also things that we're doing fantastic. So just a couple of things that I wanted to share. First of all, our performance index, we have improved our score 5 years in a row. And that is every year since the pandemic. Only 40 districts in the state have done that 4 years in a row. So if you think about that, look at our PI score pre-pandemic, 72.2, and now it's 91.3. So that's a testament to what's going on in our classroom every day, the work that our teachers are doing. I mean, that is directly related to everything they pour into our kids. If you look at the grade level scores up above, so we have multiple grades, 4th grade reading and 5th grade reading, 5th grade math, 8th grade science, and algebra. They are all above pre-pandemic rates. So again, as we saw with our kids, we had a lot of the pandemic, truly impacted our students, and now we're getting everybody back to where we were, even above. You'll notice down below the 3rd grade math, 5th grade science, 7th grade reading, 7th grade math, 8th grade reading, 8th grade science, algebra, government, U.S. history, bio, and geometry. Look at everything I just said there. Yeah. That is all above last year. And that is 2 more tested areas from the year prior that's improved. So again, all of these great things happening, all this improvement, and look at all those content areas and grades. There's more up there than there's not as a district as a whole. We continue to improve our early literacy percent. So this is again an area where we're 3 stars, which is meeting state expectations. We obviously are striving to be 4 and eventually 5, but we continue to grow and improve in this area, and that's all we can ask for. If every year we continue to grow, we'll soon hit the 4 and the 5 stars. So again, a testament to our youngest kids, our youngest teachers. A few other things I thought that were interesting. We have met the EL English language progress, which is our EL population. Keeping in mind, as you can see, we grow every year with that as well. We have added additional staffing each year, and we have met that for each of the last 5 years. Only 95 districts have met that the past 4. So again, we are in the top % of the state that's meeting these requirements, and that's helping kids to grow and learn. We also have met the chronic absenteeism for the past 4 years. Again, seeing improvement each year, and that's hard with kids. That's Sev doing a lot of work, our building admins, making connections at home, getting kids to come to school. We've hit our graduation rates above 94% for both our 4 and 5 year cohorts. I put these things on here because I thought this was super cool. So our graduates earned 1,776 semester hours last year. Wow. And then if you equate that to OSU credit hours, that's 952,000 and some odd change in free tuition. I mean, that in itself is something to celebrate as a district and for our kids. Our graduates who took College Credit Plus averaged 26 semester hours. So think about that. And we had over 18% take at least one college course. I mean, we're almost at 20% of our kids taking advantage of that. So these are all really awesome things that are going on. Just snippets of the grade card. There's other things too, but these are just the highlights to showcase some of the really great things happening in the district. So then we always have our growth. So, it's going to be our ongoing topic of conversation for quite some time. So as you can see, you can obviously see the trajectory on the uphill, but you can look below at the graph or chart, I should say, and you can see the predictions from Wolpert. That's kind of tiny, but again, they're always within a 99% accuracy. So if you just take a look at in 23-24, they predicted 49-83. We had 50-12. In last year, they predicted 50-18. We ended the year with 5,130. So these predictions that they're providing for us as we plan for continued development in this district, how we're going to have places for our kids to learn, they're very accurate. You'll see they've got us at 51-95 predicted for this school year. And then by 27-28, we jumped to 53-61. So again, the growth is coming. If their predictions continue to maintain the 99% accuracy, that's what we will see. Oops. So then I put together a little chart. I think this is important to know. The current building capacity is 5,200. We're at 50, 11, and 16, and now that's changing every day as we enroll new kids, and that all kind of settles down here in the next month or so. But when people talk about our building capacities and where we house kids, it doesn't unfortunately work when you look at this and think, oh, we still have 84 spots open. Well, unfortunately, our middle school's over, high school's over, and the WIS has, I think, like maybe 12 openings, but the classrooms are all gone. So it evens out that the elementaries have more space, which the addition of South Fork was huge, and that's allowed that for us. But if you look at the 10-year, 15, and then maximum enrollment, obviously none of us will be here for maximum enrollment, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't plan for that and make sure we have the capacity to house all these kids. So I know you definitely can't read these, but I always like to showcase all the subdivisions, 28 new subdivisions and growing. Just this summer alone, I met with 2 developers as well as Pataskala, the city council, as well as city manager for potential new developments coming to, again, discuss our concerns for the placement of kids, for high density housing, where they're going to go. I try to tell the developers there's great land in Northridge. Yeah. I offer other areas, although they don't have the water and sewage and all that good stuff. But anyways, it's real and it's what's coming. These are the ones that we know of right now today. I'm sure everyone has seen on social media the big potential proposed development in Etna that would be absolutely catastrophic to this district.
That's not included on here.
No. That is not, because it hasn't come to that phase yet.
Right.
So we will be going to speak to the appropriate people at the appropriate times about that potential development here come towards the end of the month, the zoning. But regardless, these are what we know now. That's not even what's coming on land that's still available. So I just think that people need to have an awareness, be awake, be paying attention to what's going on. Oops. I highlighted 3 of our big ones just because I think these are 3 that are currently standing out to me. Forest Ridge with potential homes of 253. If you drive out there right now off of 310, you'll see the growth. There's tons of homes in there. Drayton Hall is our new apartment complex. Obviously, that has a large capacity of 264. And then Broyles Acres on Refugee and Smoke. If you drive down Smoke, you can see how long it's going to be. And that's ready to go too with the capacity of 193. So again, lots of homes, lots of developments, and that's just 3 of the 28. So that leads us to our upcoming bond. So we are, obviously, the board is well aware, we're back on in November, asking the community to support our high school addition, parking, and the middle school. What's included, what's it going to cost, a little over $10 a month, $10.16 specifically per $100,000 assessed value. It's the length is 35 years. What's the difference? The Spear or the field house is gone. That seems to be what obviously the community wanted or said was their concern in the prior May bond. The high school expansion should be about 18 months, although the middle school should be parking by now, so it'll probably be longer than that, but the new middle school will be 3 years. And then if it fails, and we're not going out to the community, we're not making threats. All I'm saying is, at some point, I will have to, with my team and with the board, consider what do we do next. We are out of space, we are out of classroom spaces, how can we accommodate more students? So, options that have currently been talked about are half-day kindergarten, a staggered day for grades 4 through 12, and then discussing preschool as well. So these are all things that will eventually have to come to the table if the community can't support or doesn't see the need for a new middle school. So, and then I did include in here, I think it's important to know, and these are things we'll be sharing too. We'll start next week, the district will start educating our families on the facts of the bond and what's coming, and just additional pieces of information too. So maybe they're wondering, will you purchase that land, on Watkins Road next to Impact City? What are you going to do with it now? Well, on down the road, it is the perfect location for our bus garage. The current bus garage is over there off 7310 with all of the warehouses and the traffic. It's not ideal. It's a waste of time, money, gas, all that wear and tear on our buses. And Garmin & Miller worked up the specs, and we can absolutely put the bus garage right there, which would be essentially located for our campus. That is not something we would go to the voters for. That's something that we would look to do when we were financially able to afford that as a district. The same with the field house. This would obviously be significantly different than the Spear. This is not an aquatic center, the pool. It would just be a field house like a lot of other local school districts have. And it can fit, we have spacing off of Warrior Way. You'll kind of see the baseball fields down there in the bottom left side. And so you would access it from Warrior Way, and that's where that space would go, which would be a pretty great space because middle school, high school could both access from, again, Warrior Way, not far from football fields, softball, baseball, tennis, everybody pretty much. Kathy, do you have a question?
No, I was just trying to
figure out where you're at. Yeah, it's kind of tiny. And then obviously our Pataskala Bridge Academy is set to open very soon. Teachers and staff have been working very, very hard to prepare for those students. We have 2 open houses next week. When I made the slide at the start of school, we had 14 and 14 students. That could have changed since then, so those are the numbers at the time. But again, it's a fantastic opportunity for students in our district primarily who were receiving their education outside of this district, and now they can be a part of the Southwest Lincoln schools in our actual school district on a day-to-day. And there's going to be fantastic things you're going to hear throughout the year from that building. So I'm excited to see all the things they do. And then just a couple buildings of South Fork. Obviously, they kicked off their opening this year, and like Dr. Ball said, teachers seem to be really excited. I was there the first couple of days for opening and for dismissal. And I highlighted the playground too, because I think that's one of the amazing pieces of that school. And then long overdue is the new soccer fields, both practice and our game field. So our poor kids have waited a very long time for this. So we're really excited to have it. There's been, like everything else, a few hiccups. And I would say, we're kind of on a soccer punch list right now, waiting for our final pallet to arrive with our pieces for the dugouts. Wait till you see them. They're going to be really awesome when they get here.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, they're super cool. So anyways, the whole site over there is kind of like a construction project going on, but this is awesome for our kids. So hopefully they're enjoying it, and it'll continue just to get better as we get those dugouts in. And then there's our old middle school. Obviously it's even more torn down than this from when I posted these pictures, but That's also a little bit long overdue, a little nostalgic and sad, but at the same time, once it's all gone and we have ample parking for our events, it's going to be well needed, and it will really open up that area. It's very congested over there right now with all the construction going on and South Fork and the traffic. Oh, and then I'm going to go back, but in a second here. So then we had our summer camps. So I like to highlight this because, our teachers, they usually take their time over the summer to, fill their cups back up and rejuvenate. But then some of them also spend time, during summer camps and are teaching reading and for our kids. So we had wellness, STEAM camp, music camp. I will tell you, I don't know how our music, Margaret Patterson, with the help of a teacher that used to work here, put on a production after 1 week. It was pretty fantastic. So they did a really, really nice job. I'm gonna go backwards here in a second. And then we had our egg camp and our farm camp, and Deanna and everyone that works with her always does a fantastic job with our kids. They get to see the animals, and they're in the food forest. I don't know if everyone saw that she offered free vegetables and eggs and everything to the community. All they had to do was come and take what they wanted, so that was pretty awesome too. And then my favorite slide I'm going to show is our safety town. It's going to start playing when I turn to it. So obviously our first safety town, I thought it was fantastic and went super well. Tan was a truly integral part in making this vision kind of come to light. And I think you'll see when you see the smiles on the kids' faces too, just how worth it was. So let's see if it.
Hey, I'm Mark Earl from the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, and we're teamed up with Southwest Lincoln Schools for the first annual Safety Town at the Taska Elementary School.
Pretty excited that Southwest Lincoln is offering Safety Town this year. A continued chance to learn about, important road signs, crossing the road, the safety of traffic on the roads.
My favorite thing from Safety Town is Wave Life, we're at the playground, and wait for my parents.
Lots of fun activities and learning going on here for our first annual Safety Town.
That's it.
So that was super awesome, I thought. And I thought the teachers did such a great job, and all the community partnerships that Adrian was able to foster to make that happen. I just thought it was great. And Tan has big ideas for this year for something around Halloween, trick or treat, something around Christmas, the holidays. So I don't know. Now he's adding more on, but so stay tuned on that. And I think that's it. Do you have any questions for me?
No, that's awesome.
It is. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love seeing all the positive, great things going on in the district. Thank you to both of you guys for presenting. We'll move on to approval of minutes.
We have requests to speak on the agenda.
Oh, I guess we do. Thank you. Request to speak on agenda items. Teamsters? Southwest Looking Education Association? Okay. Approval of minutes for July.
Motion approval?
Second?
Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Zani,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Abstain. Those are approved. We'll move on to the personnel consent calendar.
Skipped over the most important
Yeah.
part.
Treasurer.
Oh my gosh, no. We're good. We'll move on to the
That
personnel
was
consent.
intentional.
All right, on to the financial report.
Motion 5A.
Second.
Which one do you want to? Who's it?
Doesn't matter.
Mr. Jones.
So we have the, included on the agenda, executive summary for July 31st, 2025. It's the first month of our new fiscal year. Fairly routine. We did receive property tax advances. They were more than we received in the past, but still I don't expect any more than what we anticipate usually for property taxes. Big thing was the income tax came in. This is our largest settlement of the year, and it came in 4% lower than the year before. So it's a little concerned that we have to keep an eye on that, why it's lower than what it is. But other than that, it was fairly routine and nothing really out of the ordinary.
Okay. Any questions, anybody? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Zani,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, that's approved. We'll move on. Personnel consent calendar.
Motion 6A through J.
Second?
There's no discussion at this time.
No discussion? All right. Questions? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Zani,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We'll move on to personnel.
Motion 7A and B. Second?
Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Abstain?
Mr. Zani,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, that also is approved. We'll move on to business items. I think we could take 8A, B, and C all together.
Motion 8A, B, and C. Second?
All right, so the first was kind of something I talked to them about during the evaluation process, and I feel like it's time that we as a board maybe have a discussion about changing the descriptors or the attributes in the evaluation for the treasurer and the superintendent, because they haven't really been adjusted since 2017. So I think it's time that this board takes a look at that. But I think it also needs to be done in kind of a timely manner, because we are in the middle of a school year and they need to know what they're being evaluated on. I just know within the state, the terms now have changed to ineffective, developing, skilled, and accomplished. So I'd like to see some correlation and language there. But also the process under which we do it, right now for any board president, it's real cumbersome to get all the data and put it together. And with talking with our central office staff, I believe we're able to make it into like a Google form, where once we set the parameters, we're able then to put our assessment down, and the Google form will tabulate it and just make it all easier and house it at one spot. It will also be able then to make it into charts and whatnot. So I just wanted to bring this up as kind of a discussion point. Obviously, we're not going to do that tonight. I kind of saw this as being like maybe a board work session, or if we wanted to have a board committee to do this. I don't know. I just wanted to bring it to everyone to see where you all were with it, to see if you felt it needed to be changed. And if so, how do we as a board wish to do that? So.
I think I agree with a work session. I like that idea.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't disagree that it needs like a little bit of adjustment. We've tried to, I think we've had, we've thought about that before. I definitely think the 1, 2, 3, 4, and nothing in
Yeah,
between
the
is
partial
super,
credit
partial
thing.
credit is
Right.
something
Well,
I
not
would,
like fractions.
yeah, would be
Okay.
definitely something I would like to.
So, in your all's minds, when would you like to do this? Clearly, we can't do September 16th, but beyond that, I think we're good.
Are we
And
just
then-
throwing out dates?
I think so. And then once we do that, then, once we have the parameters down, then the district staff is able to make the document, or the Google form, and then in my opinion, that form then is what would be, once we agree and we see the finalized form, we as a board can approve that.
Would like I don't know how long we're anticipating, but maybe like 5 o'clock or 4:30 before the next board meeting, or, I know you guys have a lot of things going on right now.
That will be tough. Anything before
Okay.
6 is gonna be tough.
That's what I wondered, okay.
But I could also do a Saturday, I could do, other things as well. So would you guys prefer a weeknight or a Saturday?
Yes,
I would
weeknight.
prefer a weeknight.
Okay,
Wednesdays are, well, I can't say that.
I have a question.
Yes.
We're not coming to this, right? Or are we coming to this? Am I looking at my calendar? I just wanted to make sure. So
Yeah, so we would need to be there. I think.
I would,
Okay.
It's
in
going to be
my
a board, it's a
mind-
board meeting, so.
Board meeting.
Oh,
I think,
well, then I did look at my calendar. I missed the memo.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, so I was also looking.
How about, our next board meeting is September 18th.
You want it to be before that, you think?
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the
Yeah.
week of the 8th sometime,
That's
What
fine.
about the 3rd?
or the 3rd?
I can make
What
that
about the
work.
3rd? Rick, Casey?
Is
Or
3rd
the
gonna work
10th.
for you?
Could do the 3rd, yeah. 6 o'clock on the 3rd?
6 o'clock on the 3rd. Is that good?
Yep.
Okay, then,
Does that work for Casey and
will-
Roger?
yeah, will that
She
work
should-
for you
she should
guys?
run her, you good?
And Roger, will that work for you?
Yeah, on the 3rd, you said?
September 3rd,
At 6 PM.
6 PM. Here in this board.
That's what I was gonna say, in this board room.
We need a motion for that, I'm assuming?
If everybody's in agreement, I don't think we have to.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, I can call.
September 3rd, 6 o'clock.
Sounds good.
And in the meantime, if you guys want to research, ways that or that boards evaluate their treasurer and superintendent, please feel free, but I just think it's time we update it and make the language common.
They said the current form is based on state standards. So I don't know if they've changed since then, but
Right.
they were developed off the state standards for superintendent and treasurer.
Okay.
Could you do research to see if anything's changed in those
Yep.
since transformation? Please, Rick? Thank you.
And bring those, if you bring those to the meeting with you.
Yep.
Well, I definitely don't want to veer away from state standards,
Right, exactly.
but we can always add stuff if we want, right?
Yeah, we have the flexibility to do what we want. There is actually a state superintendent evaluation system, but it's kind of older, but it is still around. But I'm not a big fan of state dictating, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we good there? Yep. All right. Then B and C, any discussion?
It's just the practicality for students that we can't bus, and then our annual bus routes that you have to approve.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Ziny,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, that is approved. We'll move on to agreements and contracts. I think we could take all of them.
K's got to
Nope.
be separate.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
How about motion to approve 9A through J?
Lord,
Second.
Lord. I was looking under personnel. All right.
You have, You want me to start, Rick?
Yeah, they're all, I mean, all of it, the one in special education, except
Yeah, I don't
Miller,
know. Like the Sunshine School Transport, the C, D, a lot of these are Dan's. I don't know if you guys have any questions on any of those specific contracts. We need to talk about Garmin and Miller, obviously, but do you have any questions for Dan on any of his, as opposed to me reading them all off?
And CDG, yeah, number 2 is Jeff, if you have any
I skipped
questions.
that. I skipped that one.
Sunshine School Transport.
Hold on,
is
yeah, maybe
something
Dan.
we can't.
Yeah,
Bus-wise.
individual car transport due
Okay.
to safety reasons.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear from Jeff about CDG Wireless?
Yeah,
Or are you still looking?
Sure.
Okay.
So effectively, this would be a contract with the company that has been installing and maintaining our transportation bus radios, as well as our repeater system and the handhelds that we use in the schools. Part of this is to ensure that we actually get the preventative maintenance and patches on the system that we should be applying. Part of this is basically to ensure that we have spares and loaners and things should any of our equipment down, they provide us next day replacements. So this is something I feel has actually been long overdue, and we've kind of been trying to operate without it, but it really came to a head this year with having to get the Marks radios reprogrammed. I'm also trying to get the software that runs our repeater moved to a new server, but to do that, we have to have an agreement with Motorola, and Motorola wants to charge us for 4 years of back licensing support that we can't pay them because they can't provide those years of service. So CDG has also agreed to eat those 4 years of back license fees to get us current as part of this agreement. So, any specific questions, I'm happy to answer.
And then it's just 1 year and we would renew?
We would renew every year, basically, yeah. So this is a 1-year agreement with them. The next year's renewal will likely be cheaper, as it won't include our needing to upgrade all the Marks radios and such.
Okay.
They're going to also kind of they're going to waive the $500 fee for labor for doing the Mark upgrades if we have the support agreement as well. So
Okay.
it'll take $500 out of another purchase we're going to need from them.
Good? Are you guys good with that one?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I did want to talk a little bit, and Rick can jump in here too if he wants, but on letter H, the proposal from Garmin and Miller for the stadium improvement project. So this is our 13th year with the turf. So
What? Is it really that bad?
wow. So
Oh my
we've gotten
gosh.
our use out of it. We've done an excellent job, probably a little bit beyond what we should. So this proposal is for obviously turf field replacement. The track restoration will also be moving the track, the sides of it. We went back and forth. We actually had an initial meeting about the visitor bleachers and whether to fix or replace. And then at our home opener for middle school, we had some bleacher problems. So anyways, we're going to take care of them. So we're going to replace those, and then soccer field bleacher and press box replacement, along with the asphalt walk replacement of the stadium. So we'd like to, and ideal is if the board approves this tonight, then Garmin Miller will get moving because it takes a while to get the asphalt companies. We'll have to move all, there will be able to be no events after May 1st in the track this spring. So all track and anything will have to be moved off of that, which the athletic director knows in order to make time. If not, you're missing football, you're missing something has to go to get it all done. So, and they need obviously the spring and when the weather's nice. Do you want to add, Rick, to that?
No, again, this is just to get Garmin Miller, drawing the documents, that kind of thing. So the contracts will actually come back to you to approve when we actually do it.
I have a question though.
Sure.
Graduation.
Yeah.
We are thinking
Yeah, I
the
don't
same
know.
thing.
That's a great question. We didn't think about that. Well, shoot. I don't know.
Yeah, because
Well, now that's a conundrum. Okay, think on that one. I blame Tan, not. Tan always thinks about graduation.
I have a child graduating.
Tan, you always think about graduation. We'll have to
That's a
figure that
no.
out.
The soccer field's new now, I'm just saying.
Let,
They still have the video board.
let's go ahead and if you're on board with doing these things, let's approve this tonight. Then we will discuss that very quickly. I can report back to the board on what we're going to do.
So specifically, we are approving just them making drawings?
Yes, and going out, bid documents, that kind of thing. Because ultimately it has to be bid out either
gonna
through
say, this
cooperative
is awfully
purchasing or
affordable
through
for new
a bidding
turf.
process.
Bleachers.
So,
Right.
well, I guess I'm just a little confused when I look in the document stadium improvement proposal. It says hard cost of $3 million.
That's what they're estimating it to be.
That's what they're estimating it will be. And then, so the walk replacement is at a cost not to exceed 230, that's only for the walk?
That's for the,
That's the total cost. That's,
Just to have
that's
them
their
draw
fee.
it
Their
out.
fee is 7.5% of the hard cost, so 7.5%
So
of
that is
3
the
million.
cost for them to draw
The
all
drawing
of
and
this
the
up.
construction oversight and all that, yes.
Is that cost then included in the 3 million?
No.
Or- So it's really 33.3 million?
Yeah, they're just giving you the hard cost, they're not
Right.
giving you the soft cost.
Okay, and then, do we have the money to
As part of the
finance
transfer we
this?
made, we had budgeted $4 million for this.
Okay. So with that said, as they're building this, there are certain things that we've brought up over the years. I want to just make sure that, you know, we're good with this. So with track restoration, are we looking at changing the color of the track at all, or?
I mean, I think we're probably premature in making that decision, and that would have to involve like track coaches and the AD. I
Okay.
don't necessarily have a passion either way, so I'd rather have the people that directly, that's their
Okay.
bread and butter, their
Right.
knowledge, help make that decision.
All right, so then the other piece, the turf field replacement, will that include a discussion on changing the logo in the middle to face the other side then?
I mean, I would assume all of
Okay,
this. And
that's-
talk about all of the, you know, as you design and go through all of
I
that.
think everything's gonna be switched to the new stadium, to the new bleachers,
finish
yeah.
line would be on the home side
Yes.
instead of the far side.
Okay. And then soccer field bleacher press box replacement would be, would we try to be keeping that at the same capacity it's at now or more?
Yep, they have in here, actually, just for
They
your.
have 400 capacity, yeah.
You can, 1, 2, 3. These are the initial meeting notes. Now, obviously, some things have changed since we had this meeting because we had the bleacher issue last week, and so we made some, and Rick wanted to do some concrete, but it talks about the current bleachers, 200 per side, so there will be a total of 400. But that gives you some additional notes if you just want to have like extra
Okay,
of some of the conversation, but.
all right. I'm just going through list by list. The new soccer press box then, like the money that was just spent for like the new sound system, speakers, all that would be able to transfer over, I'm assuming. And then I skipped the football stadium bleacher replacement. Would that also accommodate the same size, or is that on here too?
Yep, the same
So, yeah.
size, all of those.
Yeah, it's like 2,100, I think it's like 2,100 on the visitor side, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's all my questions.
And we'll obviously keep the board updated as we go through the process.
So if this goes through, the track then would have to be, no one uses it by May 1st.
May 1st, correct.
And then would bleachers, soccer stuff, all that be ready then for the next school year? So,
Everything would be ready for the fall.
okay. Okay.
It does say ideally the first 1 or 2 home football games would need to be away to allow for plenty of time, but I'm assuming that will
That's
be in
like
coordination
worst
with
case
the
scenario.
athletic director to schedule the first 2 games away.
We have a May
so-
16th grad date. Worst case, it's 2 weeks after May 1st.
It's all depending, honestly, a lot of it's the asphalt company.
Yeah.
That's what they seem to be the most concerned about. I guess that's the most challenging to get in the timeline. So that's kind of one piece that will be moving, but we're gonna have to talk to Garmin tomorrow about that.
Yeah.
All right.
What's this year's graduation, May 16th, is that what you said?
I think so,
Yeah.
because it was 18th 2 years ago, and it's.
Unless it's a leap
Unless
year.
it's a leap year, and then it might be the 15th, yeah, or the 17th.
But I don't know that for a fact.
Anybody else? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Ziny,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We need to move on to 8K, or 9K.
Motion to approve 9K. Second.
Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Abstain.
Mr. Ziny,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, that's approved. We'll move on to the very important treasurer's items.
Obviously, yes. Yes.
Motion to approve 10A through C.
Second.
That's what I say. Your statements of purpose begin of the year. We have some then and nows. Just again, timing. Fiscal year closeout versus some invoices late in June. And then one transfer is the principal's account in the Pawtasket Bridge has no money. So we want to transfer like $500 over there to give him a little bit of starting money in the principal's account there for Mr. Rathburn.
Okay. Good. Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Ziny.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes. All right, that's approved. We'll move on to
You already
superintendent
done our
side.
comments. Keep going.
Mine is brief. All right, passing around our enrollment. I typically like to share this in September because August is there's just so
Wonky.
much going on. Yeah, it is kind of wonky, but I just do a comparison of August to August. So that gives us the best, look at our growth from year to year. So last August, we had 5,056 students. Currently, we have 5,165. So you can see a gain of 111 students, with the prediction this year being at 5,195. So I'll be very curious to see how that shakes out. That's only 30 more students. I wish I had asked Jessie what she has in the queue right now, but every day there's people enrolling in the front and vestibule. So I'll be interested to see how that number shakes out. But that's what we're looking at currently. Did you have a question, John? I feel like
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
So update on enrollment. I'll come back since I did this month, probably October. We'll do our October counts. We'll see how everything settles in with some withdrawals and missing kids and those sorts of things too. And then I'm not putting this up on the screen because it's more words. I'm doing a little different approach this year. This will go out tomorrow on both social media and email. But this is the a community compass. So doing a hybrid of a little bit of a newsletter with some facts. You'll see the numbers on there for the 3 big housing complexes that I share in the presentation. I talk a little bit about our student growth, our enrollment, which has even changed from when I did this. The 6th and 9th grade classes are both over 430, so that is huge. Those are our 2 largest classes. Count when I did this, we had 788 at the WIS. Its capacity is 800. So middle school, 1179, capacity of 1078. So these are the things that I think the community needs to see. Hopefully it's brief, condensed. And we'll start to share these again every month after the board meetings like I've done in the past. And the only other thing I wanted to say was I echo the sentiments of Dr. Ball. It's been a great start to the year. Lots of positives, lots of great things going on. First football game is tomorrow at Worthington. And then our first home game will be the following Friday. So hopefully we'll see all of you guys there. And that is all I have.
All right. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Ziny.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, we are adjourned at 7:54.